frankly, I have to determine that you're a danger to the public. So no bond is appropriate.
Was on her way to work yesterday when Melbourne police say she was confronted by her ex, 23-year-old Carlos Jones. According to court records, Jones woke up in an angry state because Shadela had not been answering his phone calls or texts.
A Tuesday morning like any other, 23-year-old Shadela Johnson walked out her home on Colbert Circle at 7:46 a.m., heading to work. She had her whole life ahead of her, but she would never make it to her car. Her ex-boyfriend, Carlos Jones II, was waiting for her. When Shadela saw him, she turned around. She walked back toward the house, trying to get away from him, and that's when he opened fire. 15 shots. Every single one hit her in the back. Her father heard the gunshots from inside the home. He ran outside and saw Jones near the car. Then he found his daughter, face down in a pool of blood on the carport floor. Shadela was rushed to the hospital. She didn't survive. So what could possibly drive someone to shoot their ex-girlfriend 15 times in the back? What was the motive behind this execution-style killing? According to police reports and Jones' own confession, Shadela had stopped answering his calls and texts.
23-year-old Carlos Jones. According to court records, Jones woke up in an angry state because Shadela had not been answering his phone calls or texts. Investigators say Jones decided to drive to Johnson's Colbert Circle home to confront and kill her.
Mr. Jones, I do find probable cause for your arrest.
Police say that Jones and Johnson exchanged some words in her driveway before he pointed his handgun and shot Johnson in the back 15 times.
That's it. She wasn't responding to him anymore. Let me say that again. He killed her because she stopped replying to his messages. Shadela and Carlos had dated for about 5 months. They'd even lived together. But 2 weeks before her murder, she ended the relationship and moved out. She was done. She was moving forward with her life. But Jones wasn't done with her. About a week before the shooting, he bought a gun. He planned this. He waited. And on that Tuesday morning, when she left for work, he was there. 15 bullets, all in her back. She was trying to escape him, and he shot her down like she was nothing. This case reveals something absolutely terrifying about control, entitlement, and what happens when someone refuses to accept the word no. This case reveals a pattern we all need to recognize before it's too late. Before we go any further, this story hits hard, and I want to hear from you. Have you ever dealt with someone who couldn't accept boundaries after a breakup? Someone who demanded responses, who wouldn't leave you alone? Drop your state or country in the comments. Let's see where everyone's watching from. And let's talk about this because these conversations save lives. The details of what happened that morning, the investigation, and what Jones said to police, it's beyond comprehension. Let's hear from those who covered this case.
A young woman is dead and her ex-boyfriend is accused of killing her. The situation unfolded early this morning in Brevard County.
West 2's Scott Heidler is live from the scene in Melbourne with brand new details tonight. So, Scott, what did you learn?
Well, Melbourne police just have identified the 23-year-old victim and the suspect. Her boyfriend turned himself in to authorities just a little bit ago. The victim, Shadela Johnson, was found shot several times this morning after police were called in just before 8 a.m. to this house on Colbert Circle. Fire rescue immediately performed life-saving measures on arrival, but Johnson did not survive. Melbourne police confirming that her ex-boyfriend, Carlos Jones, who was initially a person of interest, turned himself in at 10:30 this morning to the Palm Bay Police Department. He was arrested by Melbourne police, charged with premeditated first-degree murder. Jones is also 23 years old. We spoke with a woman who said she's Johnson's aunt, saying that she was well supported here in the community.
Yeah, she was loved dearly. Beautiful soul, beautiful young lady, and this has been very tragic.
You can see here the large police presence there on the scene that was formed in response to that shooting this morning. This is on Colbert Circle here near University Boulevard and US 1. Channel 9 Jeff Deal is live there this afternoon. And Jeff, you spoke with people who live in the area.
Yes, and some family members were here in the neighborhood as well, and they said that the suspect was upset that his girlfriend broke up with him, and he showed up out here early this morning right around that gray house over there. This crime scene has been taken down. It shut down about 20 minutes ago, but he showed up out here and opened fire, and according to neighbors, the victim was shot several times in the back. It was early this morning, a small neighborhood in Melbourne. Police responded to the call of a shooting on Colbert Circle.
This neighborhood is wonderful. I've been here 3 years. We have never had anything to happen in this neighborhood.
David Birdsong told us he moved to Melbourne from Atlanta to get away from the violence there. He was surprised to see this scene and upset to learn a 23-year-old woman, Shadayla Johnson, had been shot to death at her home.
How does it make you feel knowing a young lady lost her life here today?
Oh, God, that hurt. That hurt so bad.
Melbourne police say her ex-boyfriend, Carlos Jones, shot her, then turned himself in at the Palm Bay Police Department about 3 hours later. Neighbors said Jones was upset about Johnson breaking up with him. He showed up this morning and opened fire, shooting her several times. They told us Johnson was a college student who had returned home to live with her dad and was a young mother. David Birdsong had seen Johnson around while he was riding his bike, but he didn't know her well. Still, he and other neighbors are calling it a tragedy, something like this happening, especially so close to the holidays.
New at 4:30, a judge has denied bond for a man accused of murdering his ex-girlfriend after she recently broke up with him. What investigators say he revealed about the shooting during his chilling confession, and who else he told officers he would have killed. For the first time since he surrendered to police yesterday, a Melbourne man saw a judge on a charge of first-degree murder today. Good afternoon, I'm Greg Wormuth.
I'm Darlene Jones. Police say the suspect's ex-girlfriend was shot with a semi-automatic pistol that was purchased only a week ago. We first told you about this shooting here on Colbert Circle on Eyewitness News at noon yesterday. Channel 9's Melanie Holt is live at the Brevard County Jail for us this afternoon. And Mel, you learned chilling new details about the shooting, what police say the suspect did next.
Investigators say shortly after this shooting, the suspect began tossing evidence. Later, they say he confessed to shooting his girlfriend after he tried but failed to get her back.
23-year-old Shadayla Johnson, who you see here in a social media post, was on her way to work yesterday when Melbourne police say she was confronted by her ex, 23-year-old Carlos Jones. According to court records, Jones woke up in an angry state because Shadayla had not been answering his phone calls or texts. Investigators say Jones decided to drive to Johnson's Colbert Circle home to confront and kill her.
Mr. Jones, I do find probable cause for your arrest.
Police say that Jones and Johnson exchanged some words in her driveway before he pointed his handgun and shot Johnson in the back 15 times. Johnson's father, who was inside of the house at the time, heard the shots ring out.
Frankly, I have to determine that you're a danger to the public. So no bond is appropriate.
After the shooting, investigators say that Jones told them he discarded his clothing and tossed his weapon down a storm drain. Hours later, police say he received a call from his mother urging him to turn himself in, and he did at the Palm Bay Police Department. An investigator who arrived later said he asked Jones if he was remorseful, and he was told that if he had to do it all over again, he would kill Shadayla and her father.
Police say that they did recover some clothing from the suspect's apartment complex in a dumpster. They also recovered a weapon, the one they believed was used in this shooting.
Carlos Jones turned himself into the Palm Bay Police Department on the same day he murdered Shadayla Johnson. Same day, he shot her 15 times in the back, and then he walked into a police station and admitted it. He was charged with first-degree premeditated murder with a firearm, and during his interviews with investigators, he told them everything, the motive, the planning, the execution, all of it. But here's the part that makes your blood run cold. He had no remorse. None. He told police he felt nothing about what he'd done. And then he said something even worse. If he could do it all over again, he would also kill Shadayla's father, the man who found his daughter bleeding out on the carport. Jones wanted him dead, too. In December 2023, Carlos Jones was convicted of second-degree murder. His sentence? Life in prison without the possibility of parole. He will never walk out of those prison walls. He will die behind bars. And that's exactly where he belongs. But while Jones got justice, Shadayla got a grave. And that's what we need to talk about, because this case isn't just about one man's violence. It's about a pattern of behavior that far too many people experience and far too many people ignore until it's too late. Let's break down what this case really reveals. First, digital control is real control. Carlos Jones murdered Shadela because she stopped responding to his texts and calls. Think about that for a second. He felt so entitled to her attention, to her time, to her responses, that when she took that away, he took her life. This wasn't love. This was ownership. When someone demands constant access to you through your phone, that's not them caring about you. That's surveillance. When they blow up your phone with back-to-back calls and messages, that's not affection. That's monitoring. When they get angry, hostile, or threatening because you didn't reply fast enough, that's not passion. That's control. Shadela set a boundary. She stopped engaging. She stopped responding. And Carlos Jones could not tolerate that boundary, so he eliminated her. Second, the most dangerous time is right after you leave. Shadela and Carlos had only been broken up for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. She had moved out. She was rebuilding her life. She was setting boundaries by not answering his attempts to contact her. She did everything right. But statistics show us over and over again that the period immediately after leaving controlling or abusive relationship is the most dangerous time, because the person who thrived on control just lost all of it, and some of them can't handle that loss. Shadela left. She stopped engaging. She tried to move on, and she still became a victim because Carlos Jones refused to accept her decision to walk away. That's the reality we have to face. Doing everything right doesn't always keep you safe when the other person is determined to harm you. Third, we have to stop ignoring the warning signs. Excessive calling and texting is not romantic. It's monitoring. Anger over delayed responses is not caring. It's controlling. Showing up uninvited is not persistence. It's stalking. Refusing to accept a breakup is not love. It's possession. These behaviors don't just appear out of nowhere on the day someone commits violence. They build, they escalate, and in cases like Shadela's, they turn fatal. If someone you know is dealing with an ex who won't back off, who demands constant responses, who shows up at their home or job uninvited, who makes threats or guilt trips them for setting boundaries, that is not harmless. That is dangerous. What do you think are the biggest red flags to watch for after a breakup? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your perspective could help someone recognize danger before it's too late. Now, let me be very clear about something. Shadela and Johnson was 23 years old. She had her entire life in front of her that December morning. She was going to work. She was living her life. She was exercising her fundamental right to move on from a relationship that wasn't working for her. Her father had to hear gunshots and run outside to find his daughter dying on their carport. A father had to watch his child bleed out because some man couldn't handle being ignored. A family was destroyed. A young woman's future was stolen. All because Carlos Jones believed he owned Shadela's time, her attention, her life. And here's what we all need to understand from this case. You have every right to stop responding to someone. Every right. You have every right to end a relationship. No explanation needed beyond, I don't want this anymore. You have every right to set boundaries, to block numbers, to say no, to walk away. And anyone who makes you feel unsafe or exercising those rights is showing you exactly who they are. Believe them. If an ex is blowing up your phone, trust that feeling in your gut. If they're showing up where you are, document it. If they're making threats or won't leave you alone, reach out for help. There are resources. Domestic violence hotlines, law enforcement, restraining orders, friends, family, co-workers. Don't suffer in silence because you're worried about overreacting or causing drama. Shadela's life mattered more than Carlos Jones' feelings. And your life matters more than anyone's feelings too. Carlos Jones is spending the rest of his life in prison. But Shadela Johnson never got to live hers. She was stolen from this world over text messages. Let that sink in. A woman is dead because a man couldn't handle being left on read. If this case affected you, hit that like button and share this video. Someone in your circle might need to see this. They might be dealing with someone just like Carlos Jones right now, and this could be the wake-up call that saves their life. Subscribe for more cases that matter, stories that teach us something, and justice that needs to be seen. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. And drop a comment telling me what case you wanted to cover next. I read every single one. Remember this, you always have the right to walk away. And anyone who punishes you for it was never safe to begin with. Rest in peace, lled Johnson. Your story will not be forgotten.